And I didn't have time to do a full formal meta report yet, but I'm gonna dig into that tonight for tomorrow's YouTube video, I think, for the Pocket channel. Is the plan. Yeah, they had a handful of QL features in this set too, which was nice. Oh, apparently closing the system UI crashes the app. All right, next time we'll click wait. I can do it. My kingdom for a native PC client, eh? I'm looking for 2 stars and Clefas in here. I'm missing a second Clefa, and I kind of wanted to play a deck with 2 of it at some point. Hey, Ritos, thank you for the over 2 years. Appreciate you re-upping that Prime. And Maine, rapidly approaching the triple-digit sub club. Thank you for the 97 months. That is an eternity. Hey, Covain, thank you for the very generous tier 3 and the almost 7 years. Appreciate the 82. How's Pocket treating you? Does Ho-Oh make some of the other old dragons playable? There's some Ho-Oh Dragonite builds floating around. I think Dragonite EX is also playable without it. Yeah, people ask me what we're going to start. I think we're actually going to start with, speaking of Ho, I want to start with Ho-Oh Snorlax. It's among the pile of things I loaded up last night. River Trans, thanks for the 3rd of a year. Welcome back. Eevee Fire Energy could be Charizard. Could also be Flareon stuff. Hey, Burpsy, thank you for the 5 years. Appreciate that. This is probably bad for us with the Snorlax lead. Hoping for a deck with the new Heracross. Heracross is one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 2, and it's probably just not playable. Alima will show up if you wish hard enough. Alima actually needs damage marked on the character as well, so it's not particularly useful. What's the back and forth here look like? I go energy, they put up Charizard, I go energy, they hit me with Charizard, I hit them. So what if I put this energy here, and then they hit me with Charizard, and then I pivot into this. Oh, and then Elima, I can pick it back up. Yeah, that's nice. So I'm gonna put the cape on here so Ho-Oh lives a Charizard hit. Do you think you'll play Aerodactyl with Will? I'm not... There's too many decks I want to play that might still be good for me to spend time playing decks that are almost assuredly bad this early. So, eventually I'll get around to playing things like Aerodactyl Will, but that's, like, almost assuredly not competitive. So I'm gonna work on things like this first that I think have a chance to be competitive. If they don't have a red or a Giovanni, we have a real shot here. Oh, they have Guzma. So I'm gonna want a Pokemon Center lady here to play around Guzma. Then they'll need a... Oh, I guess if they Guzma, they wouldn't have been able to Lily. So that would have been fine. Yeah, maybe that Pokemon Center lady was bad. So I can't use this to... I can't use it to wake him up now. Problem here is Problem here is I'm just not beating the second Stokes Zardia. Were my cape and my energy positioning wrong this game? They might have been, yeah. If I would have put the energy on here, I could have had 2 energy on here. And then next turn I could have Ilima'd this back up and then had a cape on here. Charizard is a tough matchup for this deck. Yeah, I mean, saying that doesn't help me get better though. You want to get better at games like Pokemon Pocket. You should look for things you could be doing differently. So things I could have done differently that game is I could have saved my cape for Ho-Oh, so that way Ho-Oh can survive a Charizard hit. And I should have prioritized getting energy on the Snorlax first instead of splashing onto the Tauros, because I could have set up another Ho-Oh with that cape. So. Can you play Drudagon in this deck instead of the Tauros? Oh, yeah, that's better. That's better, right? Absolutely. Everything else is colorless, yeah. I dig it. Druid can't take a. That's not true. We can have water and fire energy in this deck because everything is colorless. God, this emulator's been screwy. Jeff, do you remember your first ever stream? What was the topic? Were you nervous? So, I mean, I've been doing this a long time. And my first stream wasn't me, like, firing up trying to have an audience. It was some of my friends wanted to watch me play Magic the Gathering online. So I elected to broadcast myself doing that. Because it was a convenient way to let my friends see me play. Getting punished for putting the second Ho-Oh out here, but it's not the end of the world, hopefully. So, this doesn't take any damage here, but it lets me charge up the old Drudagon. Oh no, not my 3 cards turning into a different 3 cards. How will I ever win the game now? Do we just shuffle these around? Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. We'll fish up with a Pokeball here. We'll hit this for 80. We'll get Drudagon ready to attack again while also charging up the backup Ho-Oh. I have the option to hit with either of these next turn. Hey, Yukmouth, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. They are just cooked to our big dragon, huh? I have not had a chance to see the new Fantastic Four movie yet. At some point. Snorlax is a good wall. Snorlax is kind of flexible, right? Like, he can be a wall in this deck, but he can also just be an attacker for us, too. Hey, BDP. Thank you for the over 6 years of support. Speaking of being here for an eternity, welcome back. This Fat Man is weak to fighting, yeah. It sure is. Yeah, this pocket set's been fun. Seems like there's a ton of decks that have been competitive. I've definitely played a bunch of things that have felt alright. Sweet. I love turning 3 cards into 3 random other cards. Oh man, gamers. Oh. When I think about Silver, I think Silver is probably statistically better than Red Card and Mars, but you also won't catch me playing it. Did an opponent really just mind rot themselves? It did kind of feel like that, didn't it? Am I putting a cape on anything? What breakpoints change? I think I'm just chilling for now. I think I'm waiting to see. This last bench slot has a chance that it wanted to be another Ho-Oh. All right, I'm gonna need our Eliba or Elira. I think I cape this so it doesn't die to Lucario next turn. Oh, I didn't need to keep it. It heals. I'm so silly. That's fine. The cape means that if they don't have Lucario, it lives through 2 presses. How was Shadowverse draft? Pretty disappointing, honestly. I'm going to give it a couple more chances later this week, but it seems like it has a lot of the same balance issues that their constructed metagame has, which is to say that it's not particularly well balanced. Silver is basically duress. So, calling Silver duress ignores the fact that this is a small deck size game, meaning at absolute worst, your opponent is 1 in deck size to redraw the cards you're taking away from them. And realistically, you're taking 2 ofs away from people a lot of the time. So they're probably more than 1 in deck size to redraw their card. They're probably 2 in deck size a lot of the time when you're taking something away. Man, I think I need a second Aleem after how those games went. Maybe it's just second Lyra. I feel like I want a third way to pull Snorlax out of the active. Yeah, it's like either the communication or like the Sabrina or the Cyrus. Cape's okay. Could maybe give up the extra cape. Cape lets Ho-Oh survive Charizard, which is nice. Happy to have Drudagon in my opener here against the lead Lightning Energy. Tapu Koko. Yep. Well, I guess let's see if we find Ho-Oh to start. If I find Ho-Oh, I'm going to put energy on Ho. I was gonna say, I think I actually powered Drudigon to start here, but with the Ho-Oh pull, we'll Toasty Toss there. Then we can Ho-Oh charge up Snorlax or Drudigon next turn. We'll go pivot this out. And then with their first energy going on Oricorio, I think our first energy goes on Drudigon. And then I guess we could technically split the difference here, but that's a wash because this can't attack next turn anyways. Holy crap, a deck that can actually attack with Drudigon. Yeah, we're set up. Drudigon's our what's it called card? Anti-Oricorio card. Our opponent's deck apparently did not have a game plan outside of cheesing with Oricorio. What do you think of the win streak bonus Ultra Ball? I think it's excellent. I think before Pokemon Pocket implemented their 2 ranked changes, they easily had one of the most tedious and longest ranked grinds I've ever seen. So adding both ranked floors and win streaks and Ultra Ball are a welcome change. Daft Barrel, thanks for being daft in Hooglandia for the last half a year. Welcome back. You show the deck list. You can see this deck list and so many more in the new decks roundup this morning on the Hooglandia Pocket channel. Make sure you ring that bell so you don't miss out on notifications on videos going live over there. Are Oricorio appearing a lot? I wouldn't say Oricorios are appearing a lot, he says, queuing into it yet again, but I would say that in a deck like this that's mostly basics, it's relatively free to play one card, in this case Drudigon, that hedges the matchup. Any hope for Kingdra? I would be very surprised if Kingdra was playable, unfortunately. Which is sad, because it's one of my favorites. Oh, you know what? I should probably communicate for... I'm gonna wait a turn. I think I'm gonna charge this. I think the game plan here is pivot to Snorlax, let it take a hit, and then we'll put this up, charge the what's it called? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Not gonna take the point early here. Travis, thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. Sometimes lucky, rubber ducky. Okay, now Oricorio's not threatening us, which is nice. Decline giving up a knockout point here. I think I'm gonna play the cape out to make red Cardigos and Marzigus look less appealing. Chocolate Rain! What into the AM shirt are we wearing today? Where can people get it? Look at our wonderful little pink tree growing on top of books. I love their various nature-y things. Just like I love my wonderful shirt sponsor. Oh yeah, today's the last day of their August sale too. Look at that. Good clean living. Alright, so let's pull this back to my hand with Ilima. Throw Ho-Oh up to the active. find Drudagon. I'm only 1 in 3 to get Drudagon right now. Whereas, like, if I wait to get a Pokeball, I could be better than that. I don't know. It's close, honestly. I feel like I could go either way here. I'm definitely playing this. I'm definitely putting this energy here. So let's take care of that while we think on the timer. Yeah, the Oricorio doesn't have energy yet. I'm gonna go ahead and just do this because the longer I wait to communicate, the more accurate it is potentially. Is the reason to wait here. Like if I communicate right now, it's 1 in 3 to find me the Drudagon. But if I draw one of my non-Drudagon Pokemon, suddenly it becomes 50%. So there's an incentive for me to chill here. It's a big yellow bird. Ooh. Yep. So yeah. Your move, Yugi boy. I guess we're dead to Cyrus, the way this works out. Or am I? Man, my kingdom for a PC client. I mean, now I pivot to Snorlax, yeah? Wake Up plus Sabrina is lethal. Or we could just hit the 25%er and be done on the spot, yeah? That's so sad. Damn. Rats. Alright, I'm not ready to call it quits on my Fat Man yet, Chip. We're gonna take a couple more. Couple more losses at least here. Relatively even on the day. Yeah, Elima gives us a turn, but I don't have a line from there, right? Like, what's my, I guess, no, because Sabrina doesn't kill the 110 HP on the back. Just as a general note, I always welcome and encourage constructive and specific criticism of deck that we're playing. A lot of the decks we're working on are brews and new ideas that could definitely be improved, but just saying like super negative stuff like this deck is bad, why are you playing this, etc., that's not really helpful, and it's just kind of annoying and obnoxious in chat, so don't do it. Most decks are bad, and you gotta be willing to lose a bunch to experiment with to figure out new things that could maybe be good. I think I keep the Magby to make it so they have to have the evolution to take the knockout point here. Someone was asking about the capes earlier, and the capes are definitely good with the babies in a lot of spots. Alright, no evolution, and we're gonna trade a knockout point for a knockout point here. There's a Pokemon Center lady. Yeah, the capes on the babies lets the M not die to 2 Darkrai triggers, which is nice. Speaking of the babies being nice, our Magby here, helping mitigate some of that going first variance by helping us get extra energies on here nicely. That's cool to have an accelerant that's not just all in on. Our accelerant's not just all in on Ho-Oh. We've got a backup plan here. Get a little floppy here. Hey, Stiggy, thanks for the over 5 years of support. Appreciate you dropping that Prime off for the 63rd month. If you enjoy what I do, gamers, and you pay Jeffrey Bezos money every month for Amazon Prime, consider linking it to your Twitch account using your free Prime sub here. Those bits of direct support are a big part of why this is able to be my job here day in and day out, and I appreciate the folks that do that. I promise you Jeffrey Bezos has enough money that he won't even notice it's missing. Think of it as a Jeff to Jeff wealth transfer, if you would. Speaking of wealth transfer, I'm going to extract some capitalism out of your eyeballs here and run an ad on both the platforms while I run upstairs and put my leftover cucumbers back in the fridge from my lunch. We'll be back with some more of this and then some other things this afternoon. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to tap the like button as well, BRB gamers. Someone in chat asked, when you bounced off of Pocket a month or so ago, was it because of balance, because of drops, or a little bit of both? I'd say it was a little bit of both. I think I was a little low on some of the decision-making process and how slow Pocket has been to make their changes. Taking the month off gave them a chance to actually implement their ranked improvements that they announced 2 months in advance, and then it took them forever to actually get around to. I don't know. I'm gonna inflate my own ego a little bit by saying this, but before their Twitch drops ended, they actually changed them so they weren't just limited to 7 people. They opened up the Pocket Twitch drops to the entire category by the end of it. And they still didn't do proper promotion of it, so it didn't really boost numbers meaningfully for the Twitch category. But they did at least fix their half mistake for it, and I would like to think that me making a point to be a little bit loud about them messing that up and having it not be category wide and then taking a break because of it helped push that decision. Just like as a consumer, your best response to things you not liking something is not spending your money or spending your time on it. As a content creator for a game, the strongest message I can send to a game creator that I'm regularly making content for is, hey, you really stepped in this and you should fix this, and I'm taking a break because of it. Man, the emulator is really not happy this patch. That Lyro is pack points. I hit 1250 and decided I wanted her. I even toggled some settings. I'm gonna have to toggle some more settings on it and see what it is. It's crashing an annoying amount. Yeah, and honestly, hearing from other content creators and some of the members of the community talking about the last season, it doesn't sound like I missed a lot with the EV expansion. It sounds like people were kind of low on what was going on overall. I don't know. Maybe they were just burned out. I've genuinely had fun with this set, right? Like, I'm not getting rich making Pocket content. I'm only gonna be here if it's fun for me to be here. And I've had a good time playing and building, and there's still plenty of things to build and explore here. Hey, Submart, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. And the EX EV would imply that maybe they're playing like an EV box deck, like Flareons, Leafeons, and stuff. D Philly, one of my longtime friends and Hoaglandia members. Philly and Shantier Gamers used to pal around the country with me playing Magic the Gathering tournaments forever ago. Thank you for the 111 months. It's been a minute. Hope life's treating you all right. Are Farfetch stocks up at all with the baby Pokemon? You gotta remember, a lot of the decks I play on this stream are off-meta decks trying to color outside of the lines, and just because I'm playing a lot of baby Pokemon personally doesn't mean other people are. Average silver gameplay, really. Benito! Thank you for the absurdly generous tier 3 and everything else you've done here over the last 97 months. Started a new job today, and my boss is on vacation for a week, so I guess I'll watch some Pocket. Thanks for dropping by. Did they mean to put that fire energy on their gamer, or was that a mistake? Oh, wait, does this always put it on the active Pokemon? Oh, they put out leaf energy on there. I'm dumb. Ignore me. Ignore me. So this threatens to do 130 next turn, yeah? Which is a lot. I'm gonna be dead to Cyrus, no matter how I slice it. Cyrus and Sabrina. No, they only have 1 point and I have a Magby, so Sabrina is not lethal. EV bag gets us here. Oh, wait. They need second EV bag, right? Need a second way to sustain or whatever. Could have us. There's only 2 cards left in their deck. They probably have 2 bags in their EV deck, I imagine. I would be incredibly happy to add full art Snorlaxes to the deck. They are $250 each. Feel free to use the donation link or buy bits under the chat. Man, thank goodness these things don't have a weakness, huh? Do these decks play Frogadair? I think I cape here to play around Frogadair. I really don't want to give them up a free point. Also, it also means this doesn't die to a 10 plus a 20. Or just a 20, I should say, even. But it's got places to be, and Snorlax is holding them up, it would seem. I don't know that we were a lock for that one, but I was feeling ahead if we hit average coins. How does this deck play out if you stay asleep on your next turn? Do you hope for Lyra into Baby and then retreat? You also have 1 copy of Pokemon Center Lady. So we have 2 different cards that if you hit your 25%er, you can still work around it. Hey, Kazua, how did you think the Blissey deck looked that I posted the Discord server? It looks fun. Might get around to it at some point. It's got a pretty long list of things I want to try right now. And realistically, I need like 60 to 90 minutes to really get a feel for a given deck list. So I'm only gonna get through like 2 or maybe 3 Pokemon decks a day. It'll take us a little bit to explore everything this format has to offer. Man, I'm really glad we're playing Magby because we are really bad at going second. We have the full setup this game, which is nice. I'm going to leave this last bench slot open. I'm not playing out the other Magby because, what's what I'm searching for? This could realistically be a Drudagon. Squid Dynamite, thank you for the half a year. Welcome back. Is there any reason to keep the Magby? I don't think so. We were just talking about that, Nicole. Pokemon did change their official drops policy and expanded it to be category-wide. So everybody streaming in the Pocket category was able to do Twitch drops by the end of it, which that was, in addition to wanting to check out Gen 2 Pokemon, them pivoting to do the right thing in that instance definitely contributed to my decision to come back and check it out again. I'm going to go ahead and put a cape on this Ho-Oh because I want to not lose it to a copy of Red. Get our big man charged up here. Hopefully the next time Pokemon does Twitch drops for Pocket, it will be category wide again, and they'll do a little promotion in Client. That's some of the other part of it. It didn't really give a huge boost to the category when they did them because they didn't promote it properly. Yeah, they're just dead to the fat man in here. Like 1 or 2 more good ones in with this, and I think we'll move along to the next thing. Hey, Glitchy Stitch, thanks for taking the time to hook up that Prime support. Wouldn't be able to be here without folks like you. What are your thoughts on EX Plus C when it releases? I'm gonna be honest, someone else just asked me 2 cards you're excited about in Staff tomorrow. There's just so much going on. And like my summer's been busy with kids. It's so hard to keep track of what's coming up. I don't know the answer to either of those questions. My kids go back to school on Thursday. I'm very excited. My kids have a very late back to school this year. They are not back until, gosh, I think it's like the 21st. They have 2.5 more weeks still. And my youngest is starting kindergarten on the 21st, chat. I got an email at the start of the month that daycare was raising their costs again, and I was just like, that one doesn't apply to me anymore. Thank goodness. For those of you who live in countries that like have actual socialized systems that take care of people and are unaware, I pay about 19,000 USD per year for full-time childcare for my current 5-year-old. And I pay less than people do in some countries in the world. And so it's in some states in the US. All right, Magby to start. Oh, I'm going second. I should have put the Drudiga out. Mistakes were made. When you're going first, you can hold your bench, but when you're going second, you should play your things out so that way you don't get red carded or Marsed or whatever out of them. Zip! Congrats on your kindergartner starting on the 21st as well. Yeah, whatever, like, people outside the U.S. often are surprised when I talk about politics sometimes on stream, politics, but it's really not politics. It's just people's lives, right? I think people who live in a lot of Europe and Canada and places don't realize how expensive things are in the United States for people. Between childcare and healthcare and stuff like that, these basic things that should be guaranteed human rights because we need them to exist as a society. Instead, people have to pay through the nose and either do without or go bankrupt. It's very, very immoral. Alright, so Magby is cooked next turn. However, I'm going to have Ho-Oh ready to attack, so I think that's fine. I think I give up a point to get the Toasty Toss onto here. I guess they have Lucamine to not care about. Oh wait, this is a jump kick. I thought this was a green Psyduck. It is not a green Psyduck. Swap this. Clean you out. Put some energies on Snorlax. Am I communicating? Yeah, I think I'm doing this just to, like, get cards out of my hand if they want to Mars me. Turbocharge this dork. My childcare costs dropped $400 a month when that kid moved up to an older room. Yeah, the $19,000 I pay per year in childcare costs are less expensive than people who have the infant room has a higher or a lower staff to child ratio, and then the other one does as well. So people who have 18-month to 3-year-olds and 6 weeks to 18 months pay more than I do, even where I live. Cinco Latarde, thank you for the absurdly generous tier 3 and for the 88 months. That is an eternity. Coming up on 7.5 years. Is Darkrai Giratina still meta? Absolutely. In fact, tomorrow's video on the Hoaglandia Pocket channel is going to be our meta report returning with the new set. So I was out of town over the weekend. We have a camper that we weekend at with the kids a lot of the time. So we did that. It was quicker for me to do the new decks roundup than it is the meta report. 'Cause the meta report, I got to slog through some data. We'll have a meta report video up tomorrow. We'll be talking about Darktina. Was it Pete Buttigieg is such an elegant speaker, so I'm talking about people yell about how other countries don't have freedom because of things like guns. He has a bit where he's talked about a couple of times where he talks about freedom isn't just freedom to do things. Freedom means freedom from certain things, right? Like the freedom from things like mass shootings and stuff like that happen in the United States that aren't common in other places. Because, you know, my 5-year-old will go to the publicly funded kindergarten, but they'll also be running drills there just in case someone walks into their school with a semi-automatic rifle and opens fire. So they know what to do in the event that that happens. And it is deeply messed up and immoral that I live in, you know, one of the only countries in the world where that's a thing. Even things like healthcare are a thing that restrict your freedom in the United States, right? Like tying your healthcare to employment as opposed to tying it to something that you pay into at the government level means that you don't have the freedom to move jobs and live your life because you're restricted. If you want to be able to have access to healthcare, you have to keep working this very specific subset of jobs. It's actually one of those things that keeps corporate jobs a lot more successful than small businesses because corporate jobs allow for better healthcare that small businesses can't compete with. Yeah, I think our opponent's really bitter that we had Magby into Ho into Snorlax, and they're playing a tier 1 deck, and they got cooked by our trash tier EX. So a little bit of sodium here from the opponent. Good night, gamer. Daniel Mark, thank you for the 2 months of Prime. I appreciate you re-upping. Welcome back. We'll throw that salty game with the dash of politics into the deck highlight to ruffle the fascist feathers over on that side. Lugia EX seems lackluster. I think Lugia EX is all right. There's a couple of highlights of Lugia up on the YouTube channel. Just wanted to try something slightly different with Snorlax. I like that. I like that the Snorlax angle lets you power it up with Magby, which is something that we've done in a couple of these games now. Magby with just Ho-Oh to power up. Felt pretty lackluster in the games that I played. Oh, I get time to stand up and stretch. Fat man on the lead is not ideal here. This type of matchup seems really hard for us because they could just choose not to hit my Snorlax and then Ilima and Lyra don't pull it out of the active spot. Well, let me rephrase. This type of matchup seems exceedingly hard for us when we start on Snorlax lead, which doesn't happen super often because we are on 7 basics. When they just get to like have the run of the show here, there's just not a whole lot we can do, unfortunately. We have to just like put 4 energies out here organically and like hope for the best. Hey, thanks for the almost 3 years, Anti-Evil. Welcome back. Ooh, are they gonna hit me with the Sylveon? Oh, I guess they do have Psychic Energy. Maybe I am supposed to power up the Ho-Oh. Yeah, I messed up. I should put the first energy on the Ho-Oh because they have Psychic Energy. Yeah, I think we're cooked from here. I think even without my mistake, we're probably cooked from here, but with them having their best possible start and us having the worst possible, definitely gonna go next. Beans, thank you for the 27 months. Good afternoon. Happy Monday. Ho-Oh seems to be more valuable than Lugia. Is that the case? Ho-Oh gets played in more places, assuredly. Lugia essentially is not playable without Ho-Oh, and I think there's probably a handful of Ho-Oh decks that don't need Lugia. Be my summation of the situation. It's a damn shame I don't have a Leaf. You have an opinion on the best deck to climb with right now? I mean, the answer to that is always Darkrai Giratina, yeah? It's been the best deck since it released. Or close to it. No, this game does not do balance passes, no. So Buggy Beam literally doesn't matter against us, but I don't think I can live long enough taking 80 on the second turn because I put my first energy up here incorrectly. My energy assignment has not been very good today. Had a couple of mistakes that have not looked great. How many Oricorios have you come across in your climb? Not enough that people should keep asking me that stupid question. The Pokemon Pocket community as a whole desperately needs to learn it's okay to have a bad matchup. Especially when you're working on, like, B and C tier decks. Just, like, constant frothing at the mouth. Hey, you beat Oricorio. It's like, you can concede and go next. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Go next. Go next is an appropriate answer. So, and I think the best way I could tell you why you shouldn't be hyperfixated on Oricorio is something we can all agree on is that in any card game, you're always going to lose games to variance some amount of the time, right? Like whether it's Pokemon Pocket or Marvel Snap or Shadowverse or Magic the Gathering, like all card games have variance where you're just going to lose sometimes, right? And one of the things you have to just accept and understand is that one of the many sources of variance in this kind of game is matchup variance. So some amount of the time, you're just going to get got because you queued up and then you queued into a matchup that's very bad for you. And that doesn't mean that your deck is unplayable if you have a matchup that's really bad for you. It just means you hit a bit of matchup variance. Yeah, but the chicken user doesn't deserve to win. Yeah, and I mean, what it comes down to is that people psychologically want to feel like they have a chance in every game. And from an emotional standpoint, they view it differently, losing to a draw variance versus matchup variance when you don't put an Oricorio answer in your deck. From a psychological perspective, it's very different. And one of the things you can do to help you get a lot better at these types of games is learn to disconnect yourself from that psychological effect. Don't let your feels get the best of you. I'm going to leaf this out. And then I'm actually going to put a cape on the Ho-Oh here because I don't want it to get cleared by a Cyrus plus another 80. What about from a tournament perspective? From a tournament perspective, it really depends on what metagame shares look like. And anecdotally, I don't think there was that much Oricorio, but I haven't done the full meta report thing. I feel like I would have to expect to play against Oricorio more than 1 in 10. It would have to be over 10%, I think, for me to be like, I absolutely have to be able to answer Oricorio. It would need to be some well into the double-digit percentage number. Because the other thing is, and this is something that people just don't talk about enough, is like putting an Oricorio answer in your Pokemon Pocket deck is not free. Your card that you're putting in your deck to give you an out to Oricorio is going to lose you games of Pokemon Pocket in other places where it's not good or useful. So it's not just, I changed my deck to play against Oricorio, so now I'm not 0% here. It's, I make my deck meaningfully worse in other places to give myself an out in this one specific place. So, like, this deck's a good example of, I like having an Oricorio answer when I'm playing all basics, especially with a Pokemon communication, because it's easier to find it and swap it around. Because I could do something with the non-Oricorio matchup with the communication, right? But, for example, in a deck that has stage 1s and stage 2s, meaning I have to fit more cards in the deck, fitting an Oricorio answer in takes up a valuable utility slot a lot of the time. Oh man, having Sabrina instead of Osiris is big sad here. Do I simply Sabrina this turn? I think I simply Sabrina this turn. So that way I'm either putting damage on the Porygon or getting a knockout. Dead to red. The Snorlax is going to heal up to 110 here in a second. And for everybody hanging out that's new to the channel, you heard me talk about stats and stuff like that, and tournaments and all these other factors. Like, my two key pieces of my background you should be aware of is I played Magic the Gathering and other card games competitively for a very long time. Racked up many top 8s in tournaments that had hundreds and even thousands of players in some cases. And I also have a graduate degree and undergraduate degree in mathematics. I spent time teaching at both the high school and college level. All right, opponent has their whole deck in their hand. So I need to bounce the fat man out here, yeah. Then we slide the Ho-Oh up and hit them. I'm gonna lose to a copy of red at this point, but I don't think there's any working around that. I think red or Cyrus gets us at this point. An EV bag would get us. EV bag's only 10 extra damage, right? So it'd be 70 up to 80, so EV bag's not quite doing it. Guzma, yeah, Guzma gets us. This one that gets us. I feel like I'd be surprised if they had EV bag in their deck. Cyrus is the one I'm expecting to lose to here. But they also have 2 Team Rocket Grunts in their deck, so do they have room for that type of thing is a question. Wow, they're just fully pushed out there. That's incredible. We ground through their entire thing, and their buggy beams just weren't good enough against us. Because our deck doesn't care. Snorlax will take any energy gamers. He ain't picky. If I can ask, why did you and Spraggles quit hosting the larger pocket tournaments where there'll be more in the future? So when I ran my first when we ran the first Pokemon Pocket tournament with Spraggles and I tapped into existing contacts and resources that I had, and we had 3 different sponsors for that event. 0 for 3, those sponsors saw a meaningful return on the money that they spent on that event in terms of sponsoring it, and none of them came back for the second one. And that was despite that first tournament that we did with those sponsors. We had killer metrics. Like, I think we had like 6,000 or 7,000 concurrent viewers between Spraggle's channel and I. And like we had like 100,000 live views at the end of it or something silly. It was very, very good stats, but none of it converted meaningfully from the sponsors, and none of them wanted to repeat. Esports is by far a loss leader. And like, for reference, the reason why our coverage for that tournament was so good and we didn't have any downtime, basically, other than scheduled downtime for the advertisers, was, in addition to me and Spraggles running the event, my wife was managing the back end the entire day, and I had another person, D-Philly, who was in chat earlier, resubscribed for 111 months. He was sitting in the other room in my basement, managing 2.5 computers, recording matches to give us endless stuff to cover. So my wife, you know, this is just part of my job, and she helps occasionally with it, but we also had to pay a staff person on top of that too, right? So I actually lost money on those in the long run compared to just like making regular content. So it's like, it's more work, it has to be on a weekend, so I lose family time, and it's less money than just like firing up and doing a regular stream. Which is just a good note in general. You know, people always ask, you know, me and other content creators, we talk about supporting our direct bits. One of the best metrics I could give you for if you're thinking about supporting a content creator that you watch, if you're someone who's in the financial position to do so, and you watch more of my stream or Spraggle's stream or another content creator stream than you watch Netflix or Prime Video or HBO Max or some other streaming service that you pay for, you should consider throwing that content creator a $5 for the month. Like, if you're watching them more than you watch the service that you actually pay for, you know, put your money where your time is and support what you watch. So good. That's my personal line. Whenever I watch a content creator in a month more than I watch whatever streaming service I'm currently watching, I always subscribe that month. All right, I think I'm ready to move on to the next deck, but I want to record an intro for the YouTube channel before we do that. Delinear, thank you for the 23 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. How's it going, gamers? Coming at you with some Ho-Oh EX Snorlax EX action today. One of the big upsides that Snorlax EX has over the Lugia EX pairing that we've seen a lot of folks, including myself, experiment with Ho-Oh is that this one only needs colorless energy to be attacking, which means we're not all in on Ho-Oh being the thing to charge it up. We get to play 2 copies of Magby here as an additional ways to get energy on Snorlax faster, but even in the games where Ho-Oh is involved, Magby can also be a godsend. It mitigates that going first versus going second variant, since you get to attack right away with these baby Pokemon and get your energy powering up. And when all the stars align and everything is perfect for you, you have Magby when going second, allowing you to attack with Ho-Oh for 80 on the second turn of the game, which then sets you up in tandem to attack with Snorlax for 130 on the following turn. This deck list is also all colorless energy, meaning we're playing fire and water, so we get to splash a copy of Druddigon to answer opposing copies of Oricorio, which we can search up with Pokemon Communication, or throw it back with Communication in the games where Oricorio is nowhere to be seen. As always, if you enjoy us testing out sweet brews like this one, make sure you smash the like button on this video, and be sure you're subscribed to the channel to not miss any of the other upcoming things we're going to be covering here in Hooglandia. All right, what do we want to play next, gamers? Running that off made me realize I'm out of water. So let's figure out what we're gonna play, and then I'll run an advert and go finish my water bottle, and then we'll dive into something else afterwards. Not a fan. How do I feel about Typhlosion? I think I want to play some Typhlosion. Let's play Tyranitar Typhlosion, huh? Have an advert, gamers. Be right. Day 2 Typhlosion. No, I want to try and play something that might actually be good. We'll get around to the bad meme decks eventually, but it's probably gonna be a week or two, honestly. I've got a laundry list of things that I think might be all right. Loaded up six deck lists last night alone, and I only stopped there because I was tired of manually building them. I was like, this'll be enough. Future Jeff can import more decks. I wonder if we're supposed to try Magby in this deck. Is there ever a world where we try Magby in this deck? Hey, I'm too huge. Thanks for the membership on the YouTube side. Appreciate that direct support. Magby lets Typhlosion attack on turn 2 when going first. I could skimp on like the Guzma, I think. Get at least a copy in. It makes the Pokemon communication less accurate though. Communication with someone asked about no stage 1. The reason I don't have a stage 1 is to make sure communication find Typhlosion a little bit more consistently. Let's start here and see how it goes. I might slot a Magby in before we're done. Yeah, Magby is very similar to the supporter. Ends your turn to give you energy. It's a great way to think about it. And this deck is all 1-pointer, so giving up a random baby 1 point is a lot less detrimental than it is in a lot of the decks with EXs. Do this to make Mars and red card a little bit less brutal. I think the baby Pokemon are quite good. Just full stop. Anybody telling you the baby Pokemon aren't quite good is very silly. Free energy is always good. Yeah, they're finesse cards. The big question to figure out with baby Pokemon is how do you play them not with just EX Pokemon? Because a lot of the best payoffs for the babies are EXs. And you really don't want to go baby into EX. You want to go baby into 1-pointer into 2-pointer. Are we dead? I think we're dead. It has fire weakness. Yeah, but the breakpoints don't line up is the problem. So they go down to... If they lose another burn flip, we kill them, yeah? Wait, do they need to lose another burn flip? And then we win? Yes! Sick. What a sweet play to outs. 25% of the time, it works every time. Hey, thanks, Devastator. My plans for future Pocket content is if the gameplay is good, I plan to be here in some capacity. Same for Shadowverse and Snap. I think the hopeful future for Hoaglandia is just kind of be a pseudo variety card game plan. 5, 10, 15 hours of whatever strikes my fancy in a given week of all these different games. We'll check out some new stuff here and there too. Speaking of, if you like drafting games, we're checking out Once Upon a Galaxy at the end of the stream today on Easy Way to Support My Content. Checking them out for free on Android, iOS, or Steam is a great way to do that. Ooh, Tyrogue. Scary. Tyranitar, lovely. Pretty poopy set of cards. Hey, there's the one I wanted. Oh, you know what? Am I supposed to put an energy in here and attack? Nah, probably not. I will absolutely be playing Pokemon Champions when it launches. That if the gameplay of that is good, you can expect a lot of it from me on my channels. Oh, it's Pokemon Champions. Pokemon Champions is a game coming on Android, iOS, and Nintendo Switch that will be a dedicated VGC-style battle game that will likely be competitive. Have a competitive focus. When is Champions launching? Early 26. I'll put a cape on this. That way if we evolve it to Typhlosion, it can live 250 shots. I just want to get cards out of my hand before they Mars or red card me again. So we need a Typhlosion or a... We need a Typhlosion or our other QI. Yep. You put this one up. Are we dead here? I think we're dead here. You played competitive VGC before. I have played a little bit of ladder on Sword and Shield, but building teams is so obtuse and tedious and time-consuming, I never really got into it too deeply. That's basically the big question mark around is Champion something I'm interested in will basically be how easy is it to theory craft and brew and play with different teams. My assumption is that they're implementing this new game because they're going to make it easier than it is in the existing ones, but we'll have to wait and see if that's the case. Alright, we find a piece of candy so we can light this thing on fire. Very nice, very nice. Chat. This thing took my steepler. I will burn it to the ground. So I get to clear this out, but they've got the old grindcore gamer here in the back, lying in wait. Alright, so what's the game plan here? I think it's like Lyra out the Typhlosion, put up a Tyranitar to take a hit or two, and then like kill with the deal 90s on here. I think we're charging this one in the back. If they have a Lucamine, they can kill this Turtonator next turn is the problem. I think we're cooked from there. They said there's no microtransactions in Pokemon Champions. Did they say anything about macro transactions though? What about real big ones? Pokemon Pocket's pretty big on macro transactions. Yeah, I think people, I don't know, and I'm just like a deeply injured, I'm just a deeply injured video gamer who's been hurt many times before, but I think people are making a lot of assumptions about how the monetization of this game is going to work based on half comments we've had made so far officially. Like I would be absolutely shocked if it was like a full price app that are on the app stores. Like you don't release like a $40 or $50 game, or even $20 games don't exist on things like Android and iOS. And it's people always complain about free to play systems, but the reality of these free to play games, chat, is more people play them and they make more money. Like, people always ask why there aren't more like $50 or $60 or $70 or whatever dollar complete games to buy anymore, and everything's live service and free to play. It's because you get more players and more money with a free to play game than you do a good traditional game where you pay a fee and you have everything. But still, my heart, chat. Kawaii exists. Kawaii exists. Oh, this feels like cheating. Oh my goodness. We get to absolutely murder the cheesy deck. I'm gonna exert our superior fire deck energy here. Are you ready, Slugma? One well done slug, please. They have a second slug. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. We're gonna play a game. We're gonna play a game. That's rude. I can't believe people play this card. It's so good to be back, chat. Like, it's hard to put into words how good it is to be back. These gamers. I don't think they can attack me with this one this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and Fire Breathe here and then pass the turn, I think. So that way when if they kill this one, I have another attacker ready to go. Got me. Won't be playing that one. All right, they're gonna start popping off some random 50 balls here. Nope, they don't even have it. Good night. Look at us screwing around playing all sorts of things at halfway to Ultra 4 already. Pretty good. Why is red card popular? Because gamers like the power trip of feeling like they're attacking their opponent. This is not the supporter I want when going first. Looking for a Cyndaquil or a Kiwi. Yeah. Yeah! One well done EV, please, gamer. Are we done here? Let's play a game. Means all I need is a Cyndaquil. Oh, it's Eevee box. There, we could be in trouble. We could be in trouble, gamers. Cyndaquil, to me, Cyndaquil. 66% of the time, it's Cyndaquil every time. Now, this Tyranitar does die into Sylveon and Espeon. And Espeon's quite scary. He heals 30 per turn. I wonder if it's possible that I was supposed to just attach energy here and heal and not attack that last one. Got me. Are we cooked? I think we're cooked. I suppose with this draw, either of our stage 1 or another Tyranitar could get us across the finish line next turn. Although backup Sylveon's pretty good here. Alright, that means Tyranitar is no longer a live draw. Needs to be exactly Typhlosion or research for Typhlosion. The opponent's deck is the best performing deck with new cards by a solid margin, by the way. The Espeon stuff, if you want a sample deck list for that, it was in the new decks roundup today. It keeps a non-Typhlosion draw that keeps us in it for a second. It says local man about to get EV bagged. GG. Do you have an Infernape deck this season? I'd be kind of surprised if Infernape was good, I think. Any of the... I guess you could try it with, like, Sylveon to hit more consistently with it, but I can't imagine that's better than just playing Charizard. Pichu, Arceus. Arceus can't be burned. Some bullshit right there, gamers. Oh my goodness, are we getting attacked by Arceus on the second turn of the game when they go first? Like, I think we're gonna get hit by Arceus on the second turn of the game. Crazy. They have elemental switch. We actually just get full cooked. Man, we haven't thrown many decks away this season, but this one's getting close. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Smack me around. Yeah, it'll do it. Well, this game was a highlight for someone. It just wasn't for us. You can do Incineroar with Sylveon and Flareon. Yeah, I suppose that's true. You get Sylveon for consistency and you get Flareon as a secondary attacker. Could be okay to poke at some point. Alright, let's say I've got 2 more L's than me with this deck, and then we'll slide along to something else. It's deeply embarrassing how dirty they did all of the Gen 2 starters. Like, one well-done chicken, please. Can't get hurt by what? That's a damn shame. Sure would be a shame if I didn't have any of those. Right? Any Pokemon drawn from our deck makes us incredibly likely to find Typhlosion. So we have 2 Typhlosion, 2 Pokeball, a Cyndaquil, a Turtonator. So we've got like 6-ish live draws in 13 here. Breakpoint on Cape shouldn't matter in this match. I'm just getting it out of hand to make red card and Mars worse. All right, now we're 50% to find a what's it called next turn? We're a little below 50. Now we're exactly 50. Very nice, very nice. Burn, baby, burn. 110 in damage. Dee, 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 dee. Easy game. Oh, look, they healed their burn, chat. I think they're just dead, yeah, because even if they put this up and they kill me with quick attack, the Typhlosion, they need a cape. Cape could get me. Or cape could mean they're not dead, but Typhlosion does 80. Does burn plus magma punch for 60. Oh no! Not Mars! How will I ever win the game now? Don't take my cards away! Do you think there's 2 capes in my opponent's deck, chat? Or do you think they're skipping playing useful cards like that to play Mars? Oh, look at that. It didn't matter. Didn't matter. We had the Guzma. Imagine if you could being magma punched. All right, we won a game and we got some points back. That means we have 3 losses left in us for this deck. Every time you earn points, you have more to throw away. If you tried Tyrode with Darkrai, we're not really a best decks channel. If you're looking for people grinding stock good decks, this is not the place for you. We're a more color outside the lines type place, as opposed to optimize things that are stock. We will absolutely be playing Tyranitar at some point. I have Tyranitar loaded up. In fact, it might be the next deck today. Tyranitar is the type of trash we play on this channel. Big things like Tyranitar enjoyers. Charge it up. 90 damage is a lot when you're going first. It is. There's a lot of damage, chat. Oh, wow. That's rude. That's rude. Wait. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. You put the Cyndaquil in, you pull the Cyndaquil out, you put the Tyranitar in, and you fire spin about. You knock out their basic, and you win the game on the spot. That's what it's all about. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do. Get that. 2 in a row. We got win streak points, gamers. It's like cheating. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Lyra with Turtle is so nice. One of Turtle's main downsides is the expensive retreat cost. Absolutely. Tyranitar is a good derpy boy, and I won't have anyone besmirch his name. My man. I will take first evolution advantage every game if I can always have Turtonator and Kawhi together. I can always have these two. If yes, let's clean them out. Are we done here? Can I put some more? Can I put some more points in the jar? Oh yeah. I told Typhlosion heard they only had 2 losses left. They're like, oh, gonna run them off, Jeff. We're playing this for a while. Look at all these points. You will not see me play any silver on this stream similar to Mars and Red Card. Not when I can put any of the other cards in my deck. Do you feel Mars and Red Card are better in tournaments with open deck lists? Nope. 66% of the time, it works every time. Turtle's not in the lead, but it's still in a pretty decent spot here. I think the mathematical probability of cards like Red Card, Mars, or Silver disrupting your opponent is not worth the opportunity cost of having to spend a slot to put them in your deck. Because while they are not useless all of the time, they effectively do nothing enough of the time that I would rather play a different utility card. Yeah, it's not about open deck list versus closed deck list. My opinion on this matter is purely based on the statistical likelihood that they don't have an impact on the game. I feel like such a bully knocking an electrical cord off with Guzma. Even though Silver could let you know what is in their hands. Well, I think Silver is the least bad for part of the reason you just mentioned of those disruptive cards. However, you can generally know what you should be playing around in a given spot anyways. So if you're someone that's keeping up on the metagame and you know what you're playing around, Silver, generally speaking, is not really giving you information that you shouldn't already have to be playing to. You just know they have the Cyrus with certainty or don't, or are 1 in 6 to have it, right? Like, why does Guzma matter here? Does Guzma matter? Would I rather save Guzma? Why do I care if this has an extra energy on it? There's like no difference, right? I think I'd rather save this in case they have like a sporadic keep. So yeah, I brought it up because I know I said I would feel like a bully, but them not having another basic here The difference is if they play another Pokemon this turn, they can attach an energy to it instead. So maybe I'm supposed to Guzma. It could be worth playing here, but I don't know. I think there's a chance they have a keep. What an appropriate thing to have happen while we're having the red card discussion. Just like, it's so, just actual, like, skill diffed on the not playing the Guzma into the cord, and then they red carded me, and it did actual nothing. Oh yeah, I could actually just Lyra here, right? And then burn them. I don't even need the Guzma. I don't even need the, they're just dead on board. I don't need the Guzma. Bye, friends. You know, I gotta say, this deck list is the perfect deck list for people who watch YouTube videos, because every time I post a video that can't post a video with a deck that's all EX Pokemon, there's 800 comments asking about Oricorio. This deck farms the yellow chicken, chat. Nobody's gonna ask. Nobody's gonna ask about the yellow chicken with this one. I think my plan is to do updated Series 4 or 5 tier lists in Marvel Snap every other month or so. Because I've been doing the end of season reviews, where I review just the new cards that release, and I think those are good filler. I don't need to do Series 4 or 5 every month. Typhlosion is so good. Typhlosion is, I'm gonna say, surprisingly playable. I don't know about good, but he's beating expectations currently for me. The key to not being disappointed in life chat is low expectations. Whoo, we're cooking. We do viewer decks in Pokemon sometimes. We'll probably do some viewer decks later this week, maybe. I have stuff for today and tomorrow, probably Wednesday, that I want to play already. But I do enjoy taking community decks periodically. Oh, speaking of things that are exciting, chat, the Vibe market is way up today. Did we taco on something key? Or did we have our first jobs report with plus 1 billion jobs with our new person reporting it? Rare candy, definitely an above average top deck here. You're baking this person up. We have the Cyrus here too, so the Tina can't even run away. EU paused counter tariffs for 6 months. Oh, look at that. So they're expecting Trump to back down then. So Cape lets me live the Water Shuriken plus the 80, right? So we'll go Fire Breath, Cape, Crack You. And if they lose their burn flip, they actually die on the pass back. And if they win the burn flip, I can kill them with burn the following turn. Nice. Okay. It's a really, really strong flip for us. Typhlosion's the first access we have to really good, consistent burn with since that mechanic was added to the game. Very nice. Man, we've been having such a good time with this one, gamers. The auto ends are about to roll, so let's throw the deck list up on the screen. If you missed this one, was in the new decks roundup this morning on the YouTube channel. You should make sure you subscribe and ring the bell over there so you don't miss any fantastic things like that. We're gonna play a little bit more of it after the ad break, and then I think we'll probably poke at some Tyranitar. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Don't go anywhere, gamers. Watch it on the YouTube side. You're enjoying the Pocket content. Make sure you tap the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps it reach some more people. Appreciate the folks who have done that already today. Yeah, that sucks, Kamikaze. Yeah, I think, you know, we joke about the vibes market going up, down, and all around with all the insanity that's going on in the world, but I don't know that a lot of people are fully ready for the impacts that their spending bill is going to have when it goes into effect in the fall. There is a lot of ripple and knock-on effect from that's going to happen the end of this year and over the course of 26. And for those just listening, Kamikaze says, the ripple effect of the big beautiful bill is they were notified today by their kids' school in Michigan that they haven't been able to set their budget yet due to lost federal funding, and they're probably going to be cutting school lunches for students. It's one of those things where, like, it's not a left versus right issue. It's a top versus bottom. We should all be able to agree that making sure kids are fed so they can learn is a good thing. And instead we've got an entire fascist party of motherfuckers who want to give tax breaks to billionaires. Always. It's always how do we pay for it when it's feeding kids or taking care of someone, but never when we're blowing people up in the Middle East. Always money for war. Nobody ever asks how we pay for it when we send bombs to Israel. Oh, I have the turtle, but I don't have his supporter, which is sad. This might be a Tyranitar takes hits for the team. While we build up the back one. That might not be many hits though, so Valley hits real hard and fast. Only 2, in fact. Providing lunches at school for all children is one of those really easy things to do that not only makes sense from a moral standpoint, but from it tends to be fiscally conservative policy as well. Because one, it costs you money to means test people to try and decide who deserves a free lunch if you're doing that. And one of the knock-on effects that's been studied of school lunch programs is that when areas have free school lunches, it actually tends to suppress grocery prices on average because of supply and demand, right? Like if parents aren't buying lunches for their kids, there's less demand at the grocery store, which causes costs to come down a typical amount of the time. A couple different studies that have been done surrounding the knock-on impact of, well, what if we fund school lunches in places? Means testing for things like that are almost always bureaucratic waste. All right, if we draw a rare candy, we can candy into Typhlosion and then burn this and finish with the Tyranitar. Yes, one of the very easy, obvious impacts of general school lunch programs is performance at the schools goes up. Because there's also a social component to it as well, is because if you have school lunch programs where you're means testing people to get them, there'll be students that qualify for a free school lunch based on family income, but they won't actually go take the free lunch because of the social implications of doing so. So when you give every student free lunch at school, you remove that social component of embarrassment, allowing people that really need it to get it without feeling bad about it among their peers. It's just like, again, it's like one of those things that like any reasonable human being that could read a study or has empathy in their body, like we should all be able to be like, yeah, we should do that. That makes sense and is good. Let's do that. But then there's, 76 million people that voted for Donald Trump who are largely and generally awful and want awful things. Oh, that's rude. JK, I have Lyra. JK, I have Lyra. Man, we are giving this person the business. They are like cooked, right? Our draw wasn't even good this game. We had to like, we went first and we didn't have the spell for our Tyranitar. Lyra is so powerful. Easily one of the best cards for this expansion. All right. I mean, that buys them a turn, I guess, but I can't imagine they're getting out of this, right? Because I'm gonna put burn damage on this, and then we're killing it with Cyrus. Man, what is our win streak up to? 6? Looking good. You said 2 more losses, 6-0. I did. I said we were going to be done after 2 more losses, then we ran off 6 in a row. Gamers, if you're one of the many people who has left a comment on my YouTube channel asking, how does this deck beat Oricorio, Jeff? Today's deck list is definitely the one for you. We have Typhlosion and Tyranitar teaming up to fry the yellow chicken and everything else they come across with incredibly efficient damage with your absolute best draws in this deck, where you lead on Tyranitar and play Kawaii on the first turn, and then you evolve into Typhlosion on the second turn. You get to burn your opponent for 20 and attack for 90, dealing a whopping 110 before your opponent even has a chance to evolve. This deck list is also all 1 knockout point Pokemon that have over 100 HP, which in tandem with Giant Cape and Lyra to give us mobility, gives us a ton of sustain and longer, grindier games as well. I was loving this deck list, and we ran off a 6-win streak with it, climbing through Ultra 3. If you want to see some of the best of those games, be sure to watch the rest of this video. Make sure you smash the like button if you enjoy, and subscribe to the channel to not miss any of the awesome deck lists that we'll be covering here. For the regulars, I no longer have a video editor for YouTube, so I'm sneaking my intros into the live streams to make my life easier doing minimal editing stuff later. Apologies for stealing a minute of your time to do an intro. All right, someone asked me, what do I think about Will? I'm not actually sure which deck I want to play next. Yeah, we're going to play them both eventually, but we only have time for one more today. Do I want to play Tyranitar, or do I want to play Executor? Let's play Tyranitar. It's been so long since I played my GA Weezings. It's been so long since I played my GA Weezings. I've got these Kogas that are full art as well. But we'll play eggs tomorrow, I promise, egg enjoyers. We'll play with some eggs tomorrow morning. Let's do some Tyranitar today. Jeff, I get it, Jeff, you're a professional, but I'm always amazed at how you nail the intros live in a single take. Thanks, Cinco. Years of practice. Will and Lantern. Yeah, Lantern's on my list to get to eventually as well. Card's probably good with Pichu as well. Lantern reads as a playable card. Oh no, my weakness. Oh wait, this is a 2 energy, Riolu. Except... Rockruff. There's a name I haven't heard in a minute. Oh. Oh wait, I can throw this back, yeah? God, this communication is so smart and thin. This is clever, chat. You know, I don't think I've played Division. I don't think I've ever played Division Coughing with communication before. That's sick. I want my last bench slot to be the Darkrai, potentially, so I'm not going to play this other Larvitar out. I saw someone playing Genetic Apex Pikachu with Pichu. It's in my deck editor too. I really can't emphasize enough how many decks there are that I need to play in this metagame. I know this is going to be upsetting to some of you watching right now, but in order to fit all of these decks in, I think we're going to have to play Pocket every day this week. It's the only solution. I think I'm leaping and attacking for 20. Hey, Zarin, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Appreciate it. This is the best set Pocket has put out in a long time. Agree. And honestly, I think a big part of what makes this set such a home run in my mind is that it didn't just add new cards. There are so many genetic Apex cards that I'm playing with for the first time in forever that feel competitive. I think that's the big win for me. Look at, it is unfathomable to me that people play red card. Like it's actually just insanity. Do you think they're an EX Lucario deck? This Riolu makes me think they might be an EX Lucario deck, but I don't know. The baby Pokemon have added a lot of additional depth to the game without feeling like power creep. I think that's such a good and accurate summation. Agree wholeheartedly with that. What do the babies do? The babies... what's what I'm searching for? The babies attack for free, so they get to attack on the first turn of the game. They don't evolve in this game. So, Tyranitar's ability, for those who haven't read him, says once during your turn, you may move all dark energy from each of your Pokemon to this Pokemon. So I can put this energy on Darkrai and get my chip shot, and then we're going to get to power up Tyranitar with it anyways. So next turn, I'm gonna get to use Darkrai to kill this, and then Tyranitar's gonna get to attack and kill the next thing. Plunder away, gamers. Yeah, Tyranitar's like a free Dawn. Oh, I can Tyranitar the energy off the Weezing before I Koga it. Yeah, that's a good call out. I missed that earlier. And it ended up not mattering, but it could have if I didn't draw the Darkrai. That's a great call out. And they are cooked. All right, well, sweet first game, and I learned something without having to lose to learn it. That's nice. Good night, gamer. Man, I gotta be honest, the win streak bonuses for Ultra make this... I knew the win streak bonuses were gonna make it less grindy, but man, do they make it less grindy. We are cruising through these ranks. Which is good. The previous system was real slug. It is such an improvement. Alright, give me a coughing. Give me a coughing. A coughing and a wheezing. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, come on, game. Come on. Our emulator has not been happy. That's fine. The start of the game is the best time for this to happen. The emulator said you're on a 7-win streak. Gotta cut that out. Yep. What the heck? I'm gonna load this up on my cell phone so I don't lose the game. I think we're probably in lose the game territory at this point. Is the issue not my thing? I just loaded this up on my phone and it tells me I have win streak 7. That's the wrong button. That's very strange. It's like my game is gone. I'm very confused. Weird. You all still see me, yeah? Chat paused. Yeah, okay. Check battle history. All right, where do I do? There's a battle history in this game? Oh, there is a battle history. Yeah, I don't have a loss in my battle history here. Weird. Oh, my emulator is full on locked up at this point. I'm gonna have to switch emulators. It is impacting the quality of the stream significantly a lot. I had previously used LD Player, but that one just had a bunch of ads in it. Other people had recommended Moo Player, which looks very clean, but it just like it constantly has been crashing on us. Surprise Pocket doesn't have a desktop client. I mean, I'm not really surprised that they don't have a desktop client. All right, let me try toggling a setting or two in here. All right. Let's toggle a couple of things. Let's see if this impacts it at all. Hurts or helps stability. That's so sad. That was set up to be such a good game potentially too. Yeah, Moo Player doesn't have any bloatware on it, which is really nice. It's just the actual app itself just isn't working consistently. Oh, the LD Player has a ton of adverts in it. Well, now it's offering me a battle. I assume it's about to tell me. Yeah. Okay. Gave me a loss out. That's so weird that I got into the client twice and it didn't tell me about it until it was off. That's a software problem. That's messed up. Like the fact that I was in the app on my phone and it didn't show me that there was a game there is pretty jacked up. No, the win streak is gone. The game, it didn't show me the game, and then it told me it was a loss when I got back in here. I'm chilling on this, because if I draw a copy of Pokemon Communication, I want to sub it out, probably. That sucks. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna grind for a big number in Masters, and we'll get there eventually. Hey, Paxson, thank you for the 15 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Anecdotally, this Sil Valley or Choreo deck is the most common thing we've played against today. I guess I'm playing this one out now because this one is going down. I think I'm actually not attacking with Wheezing here. We're just going to toggle poisons. That way we live through anything that's not a Giovanni. We'll just keep putting energy on Darkrai. Good old-fashioned gas leak. The chicken. The chicken makes our lack of Darkrai sad here. Oh, what a looker. I think we're dead. I guess with the leaf we're not fully dead. I could run off rare candy. I can run off rare candy plus T-Tar and maybe be in it still. So I get to kill this turn. I can leaf out of this. A real unfortunate draw this game. Both T-Tar and candy in the bottom 8. Maybe they'll red card me because I have 5 cards in hand. I don't even have Wheezing. I just had any other Pokemon in hand, the rare candy would be good enough, probably. Unlucky. That's fine. We're losing our win streak anyways to variance. I kind of wouldn't mind drawing 2 basics. Yeah, Darkrai and a Coughing are exactly what we want here. I'll swap this out and poison them with Weezing. They could Crobat us this turn, I suppose, yeah. Not quite yet. Hey, Smoked Gouda, thank you for the 7 months. Welcome back. Swap this and see what we get. Well, that was the worst possible, yeah. Either we were going to get a Coughing that we could put on the bench and then Koga up to, or we would get a Tyranitar, or we were 1 in 4 to get Weezing. Thing's dead now. Don't know what a win looks like from here for us. It probably involves, like, Tyranitar and our copy of Leaf. Could see a world where that adds up to being okay for us. Okay, I think I have to put Darkrai up to take some damage. Is it true that they're releasing a new booster in early September? They release a new pack in this game every month. Every four-ish weeks. So late August, early September will be the next one for sure. Veiled Wanderer, thank you for the 52 months. Welcome back. I don't know. I think it's very silly when people are like, Pokemon only releases packs because they want there to be money. This game is a better game because they regularly release content updates for it. The only reason the packs feel overwhelming for people with the rate that they come at is because the economy in this game is incredibly high variance and predatory. If the cards were simply slightly more accessible, it wouldn't be a big deal, and everybody would just be equally excited that there's new cards coming every month. Yeah. From a pure game is fun standpoint, the game is markedly more fun with regular content changing. Oh, I think losing those energies means we're dead. The interesting thing here is this energy here gets to pull the Tyranitar next turn, so we kind of get to save it, right? I'm really surprised Tyranitar didn't get an EX Pokemon. Just at a low bar, this dark version seems a lot less worse than the fighting one did, but definitely not great. Alright, but there might be something here. Yeah, we could still get an EX one, to be fair, that's true. Yeah, I just can't Koga at this point, right? And gosh, if I'd have had a Leaf to get this out with, we'd have been able to attack with this Tyranitar this turn and win the game. Do I want a second copy of Leaf? I wonder if I want a second copy of Leaf in here. Kind of feeling like I might. Ah, that's Cyrus anyways. Let's take a look. Having a hard time finding the attack button, it would seem. Leaf or Lyra? I guess Lyra is potentially good with double Tyranitar, which is going to come up on occasion, yeah. And Lyra lets us reposition Weezing. Kind of don't have a slot though. Is it just Koga? Do I go 1-1-1 Koga Leaf Lyra? Yeah, I don't do that. All right, we need to run an advert. I need to run to the bathroom. We're going to play some more of this when we get back. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Don't go anywhere, gamers. If you're watching on the YouTube side, don't forget to tap the like button. Appreciate the over 300 folks that have done that already today. I assume with Rare Candy, middle Evos are basically non-existent. At most, you play one. In a deck like this, where you're trying to fit in another stage one as well, it's just hard to have slots. Usually if you're on a stage 2 plus basics, you'll see one stage 1 still. So Eevee and EX Eevee likely means the Eevee box deck, meaning Espeon and Sylveon. Looking for a copy of Weezing and a copy of Darkrai. These are coming up Millhouse here to start. Any favorites from today? I really liked the Ho Snorlax deck we started on this morning. That one will definitely get a highlight. Espeon kind of counters Weezing. I mean, it's weak to Dark. It'll, like, undo the poison or whatever, but... Alright, so I was really hoping they'd draw me into the Weezing. They're still dead on board, yeah. They need to evolve. They can't draw. Oh, come on, Weezing! Come on, Weezing! Need to get this above 70 HP. This grabs all the energy on the board, right? Once during your turn, you may move all dark energy from each of your Pokemon to this Pokemon. So I think I'd rather grab this one than deal 20 here, yeah? I think we're just sliding Coughing up to the active spot here. If we top deck Weezing, it's insane for us. If we don't top deck Weezing, we can let it take a hit before we move the Tyranitar. Love playing to our outs, chat. We're down to 60. Oh, wow. Oh, wait, this takes 2 energy to attack, right? So we're good. This card's so scary. 130 for 2 is a lot. Alright, if I draw Lyra or Koga, we crack the Sylveon with Tyranitar this turn. So, 1 in 5 here. A little better than 1 in 5. How does this work out? So they take 20, and then they're down to 60, and then they're down to 30, which means if they kill us with the Sylveon, the Darkrai chip shot actually finishes it next turn. So they have to heal this Sylveon or switch to something else to finish this Weezing. And even if they KO the Weezing, we'll have 3 Dark Energy on the board, so we're set to attack with Tyranitar next turn. This has got to be healing you. They're bricking. I mean, I don't know about bricking. There's only 4 cards left in their deck. I think they're just debating if they wanted to give up a knockout here. Because now I can do 150 a turn, right? We have Buster Tail plus a chip shot from Darkrai. And Espeon is weak to Dark. I'm on 2 points now, so Sabrina is bad for me if I don't draw Leaf or Lyra. You ever play with the old Tyranitar? Yeah, a few games. It's pretty bad though. This one actually seemed this deck actually seems relatively competitive. So there's so much that feels reasonably competitive in this current meta. This is quickly becoming my favorite time to play Pokemon Pocket since the game released. Yeah, they're just dead. That's not a great lead for us. Okay, come on. I really needed a mulligan here, so. Still bad, sad. So it's always sad when they red card you and your hand is atrocious and he's still bad afterwards. Just unlucky. They tried their best. Wheeled me into research at least. Oh, this is fighting. That's convenient. I was looking at my 10-pointer kind of being sad, but dealing 30 is a lot less sad. I accept a lot of the EV deck. Yeah, if you missed the new decks roundup today, I talked about how this EV Espeon deck was the best performing deck with new cards by a solid margin. I'll have a full meta report talking about the older decks that had good weekends as well, probably tomorrow. Like your finest copy of Wheezing, please, deck. Although, honestly, Leaf wouldn't be terrible either. Keep the energy on the Larvitar. Here, they are admiring my hand, yes. Wheezing! This is a little greedy, but I think it's the line. lose on the spot when that happens, yeah. We'll put coughing up front. Open the peel of wheezing off the top again. We're just done here at this point. Yeah. Have you tried Uetu Typhlosion? I expect that deck is trash. Yeah, I've got too many decks that might be good to try before we try, like, really meme terrible things like that. We find a Weezing here, we might be okay. Weezing plus Candy, we play a real game. All right, so they jab here. And then I think we put the other coughing up. Man, Lucario's a tough beat, though. Lucario means this dies in. This dies in one because of weakness. I don't think I want to just put the Tyranitar up, though. All right, so they might catch us with second Lucario plus Cyrus. But otherwise, they punch this Darkrai. I Lyra it out. I move all of its energy onto Tyranitar. And we sweep with it. is a very reasonable and feasible game plan from here. If they have second Lucario here, they would crack us for 80 and then could crack us for 60 with the Cyrus. That's a pretty specific combination they need to have. Opponent might just be in the tank trying to figure out how they beat the Darkrai. Not even realizing they need even more than that. Giovanni does not quite do it. What if you played Drudagon and Rocky Helmet instead of Weezing? I mean, that's the same number of card slots, right? So, like, I think it could be worth exploring Drudagon in this deck instead of Weezing, but you almost assuredly don't play Rocky Helmet because the upside of playing Drudagon as opposed to Weezing would be you'd get deck slots back, right? You could play 2 more utility cards because you don't have four slots for your other Pokemon. I think that could be a reasonable avenue to explore. Drudagon was awkward in Darkrai decks in the past because you never wanted to go Drudagon into Darkrai because that would be 1-pointer into 2-pointer. And this is a real upside. I'm actually gonna lose now, yeah, if I don't draw a Leaf. Yeah. Yeah, as much as I want to play this card, if I wasn't playing Weezing, the Koga slot definitely turns into a second Lyra or a second Leaf, probably second Leaf, so you can reposition Drudagon at the start of the game. Yeah, I think I like that suggestion a lot, honestly. Weezing's just so clunky. It could also be that Weezing's worth playing and you just don't play. You just don't play copies of Koga. You still play the Leafs or the Lyras or whatever, but my poor gassy boy just hasn't been the same in a while. And like, what other utility cards would I get? The world's kind of my oyster, yeah? I wonder if two Leafs, if you even play, and just play 2 Darkrai. It could be like a helmet or something else still too. Cape could be good. I kind of like the idea of having some sustain. It could be like Cape Sabrina. Yeah, Poison Barb could be okay too. Sabrina's pretty good with the deal 130 angle. Yeah, you basically always want, especially without having Weezing, you want all of your energies to go on Darkrai from the start. You will not see me play Silver for the same reason you don't see me play Red Card and Mars. They're just like statistically likely to not really have any impact. Have to play mismatched Darkrai, which is a travesty, but it's probably correct. Freaking Drudagon. What about a Lax Berry package? I think that sounds bad for the same reason Weezing sounds bad, which is it's 4 cards. So the appeal to moving off of the Weezings. The appeal to moving off of the Weezings is not having... The appeal to moving off of the Weezings is having more deck slots. So replacing the Weezings with something else that's 4 slots in your deck, you might as well just play the Weezings. Which, again, honestly, there's probably a chance that Weezing is fine here, and it's just Koga is not a card that's worth playing. Like, maybe you leave the Weezing package in and you, like, play second Lyra or second Leaf. Probably second Lyra, honestly. So that way you can Lyra out the Weezing and then move the energy to something else. But Koga was clunky, not working with other things. Thinking about it, the fact that, like, if I'm not playing Weezing, I want the other Darkrai makes me more excited to play Weezing. But I'm gonna play a little bit more with Weezing before we cut him. Just because I like him. I think thinking on it. I think thinking on it, the thing I want to change is I want 2 Lyros. I don't want any Kogas. I want the flexibility to be able to move my cards in and out, regardless of who they are. People who think Pimayukin are comparable to Drudagon don't understand what Drudagon is doing. It's not just chip-shotting, it's also a wall. And it does multiple... The only time Pimayukin is comparable to Drudagon for more damage is when your Drudagon's getting one-shotted, but a lot of the time it's not getting one-shotted. I guess we have to rename the pile. Using Tyrian. We cut Lord Koga. Yeah, no weaknesses buys you time. In a deck like this where you're trying to set up 3 and 4 energy attacks, Drudagon taking 2 hits and dealing 10 less damage while taking 2 hits is more valuable than Pimayukin going down in 1 more frequently and dealing 50 when it does. A card like Drudagon you don't play a card like Drudagon just because it deals damage. You play it because it's good at stalling as your lead, and the fact that it deals damage while stalling as your lead is an upside. So it's a sum of its parts. It's not, you're not just looking at it from this does less damage than a PU, so you play the PU. Like the PU has half the HP pool, which is a big deal in a lot of spots. What you care about for Weezing is a body and poison. Yeah, it can be a decent lead attacker in a deck that otherwise has a Pokemon that is trying to build up to. It takes the dark energy, so you can move that dark energy over to Tyranitar later, and it gets in chip shots with the poison that add up with Darkrai's chip shots. Like Darkrai plus Weezing is what, 70 damage per turn cycle, which is pretty efficient for a single energy. All right, for the last leg of the stream today, we've got a new stream sponsor. It's actually a game I've been playing a bit of off stream called Once Upon a Galaxy. If you want to hang out on the Twitch side for the last hour or so of the stream today, we're going to be drafting some of that. It is a drafting game that the default mode is asynchronous, meaning you can draft at your own pace and there's no timers or anything ticking down. But it also has a lobby draft mode where you can draft with friends. Let's fire that up. We're gonna do an asynchronous draft or 2 or 3 or 4.